Noah was successfully admitted to St. Hiss Academy. I attended her enrollment ceremony with the Silver Dragon Queen and Muin. However, the Silver Dragon Queen and I, along with Noah, were called to the stage to speak at short notice by the vice principal. We had no choice but to go up. After Noah finished her acceptance speech, the vice principal unexpectedly asked me to kiss her, including the Silver Dragon Queen. What should I do next? 3 days later, Noah's entrance ceremony was held as scheduled. On this day, the weather was sunny, and the auditorium of St. Hiss Academy was bathed in warm sunlight. Accompanied by rounds of applause, Vice Principal Wilson, dressed in academy attire, walked briskly onto the stage. He stood up at the podium and delivered his entrance speech for the new semester. Congratulations on passing the assessment. Welcome to the entrance ceremony of St. Hiss Academy. The auditorium was filled with parents and children attending the entrance ceremony. The children were all wearing the school uniform of St. Hiss Academy. Some looked up at the stage with bright and lively eyes, listening attentively to the speech, while others observed the surrounding environment with curious eyes. There are many outstanding students among the new students this time, and harmonious families can cultivate outstanding students. Taking this opportunity, we invite these families to share some experiences with us. Next, let's welcome the top student in this new student entrance exam, Noah K. Melkivi, and her family to the stage. Muin sat in the audience, looking very excitedly at the dragons around her, and the speech of the vice principal on the stage. Beside her, Anna, the head maid of the Silver Dragon clan, looked ahead with a smile while guarding Muin's safety. Muin applauded very happily as she heard her parents and sister being called to the stage. Wow, Dad, Mom and Noah are going on stage. Anna replied to her. Yes, Your Highness. Leon and Roswitha led Noah up the stairs next to the stage and walked towards the vice principal's podium. A dragon assistant reached out her hand and gestured for them to walk in this direction. Leon smiled kindly at the parents and students sitting in the audience, but felt helpless about the current situation in his heart. How could it become like this? An hour ago, Vice Principal Wilson called them to his office. In the office, he smiled and told the 3 people in front of him the next arrangements. Noah achieved the highest score in the entrance exam, and the couple's family assessment also ranked first. Please be sure to speak on stage as a new student representative and family representative. They turned around, straightened up, and stood at the podium. The eyes of hundreds of dragons in the audience were focused on them. Leon looked at Roswitha and Noah next to him, and then at the hundreds of dragons standing in the audience. He was also powerless in the current situation. There was no choice. The situation came up suddenly, and I had to bite the bullet and go for it. The vice principal looked at Noah and asked her a question. Noah, as the youngest candidate, but with the highest score, what are your thoughts to share? Noah lowered her head and pondered for a moment, then approached the microphone and spoke her thoughts. My mom is a very powerful dragon, and I also want to become as strong as her when I grow up. When I proposed to come to school, Mom gave me affirmation and support. Roswitha was very happy to hear that Noah was so adoring of her. She looked at Noah, and her eyes revealed the pride that filled her. In addition, My sister Muin has always there for me. I am very grateful to them. Muin, who was in the audience, heard sister mention her and looked at her with sparkling eyes, her hands happily clasped in front of her chest. Realizing that Noah hadn't mentioned herself yet, Leon peeked at Noah with an expectant look. What about Dad? Will she mention me? Noah seemed to notice her father's gaze and understood what he was trying to say. She sighed and looked ahead firmly, continuing her speech. Lastly, and most of all, I'd like to thank my father. He helps me review and prepare for exams every day, and often stays up late to prepare materials. Thanks to him, I am able to stand here. Leon couldn't help but feel a little moved to shed tears when he heard Noah speak so highly of himself. Although she usually seemed not easy to get into, she was sincere in some ways. He said softly, while looking at her with tears in his eyes. Noah. That's all. Thank you. After adding a few more words about her expectations and goals, Noah ended her speech. She politely bowed to the audience, indicating that her speech had been completed. The audience erupted into enthusiastic applause, and Roswitha and Leon standing aside also applauded for Noah. The vice principal also acknowledged Noah's wonderful speech. He looked at them with a smile on his face and expressed his thoughts. It seems that Mr. Leon is very good at teaching children. Since that's the case, your daughter is so grateful to you. Why don't you kiss her to show your father's love? Leon turned his head and looked at the vice principal in great surprise. He didn't know he had such an open side. This was a bit different from the normal speech process. Leon expressed his inner feelings with great excitement in his heart. Vice Principal, what are you talking about? Do you want to turn the entrance ceremony into a patricide scene? He turned back quickly and looked nervously at Noah. At that moment, Noah was still expressionlessly looking ahead, as if she didn't show any sign of surprise at the vice principal's proposal. A month ago, Noah wouldn't even let me touch her. How could I kiss her in public? Noah had turned around and looked at him. Worried that Noah would be torn by such an offer, Leon smiled and bent down to approach Noah, opened his hands to her. He whispered to her, Noah, there's no need to be so difficult. Let's just hug each other, okay? Noah frowned, her eyes looking to the side, and replied to Leon with a blush. Hurry up, and finish the kiss, and get this awkward ceremony over. Although Noah looked reluctant, in her heart, she was actually looking forward to her father kissing her. Leon looked at Noah with some surprise. He didn't expect Noah to accept the vice principal's request. Noah. Perhaps Leon doesn't know. Noah actually likes him as much as Muin does. Leon also gathered his courage. He gently hugged Noah, closed his eyes, and kissed her forehead forward. Noah slightly widened her eyes, feeling somewhat surprised by this. Many dragon figures in the audience watched this scene very quietly. The warm atmosphere emanating from this father and daughter touched some parents present. Seeing such a warm scene, Muin couldn't sit still. She widened her eyes and excitedly reached out her hand, making a gesture of wanting to rush out, while enviously saying, I also want to kiss Noah. Seeing that Muin was about to leave her position, Anna immediately stood up to stop Muin. so as not to disturb the order of the venue at this moment. Your Highness, you cannot go up now.